Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I am live in my Beehive studio this morning. And today we'll be making a Halloween card, and it's also Casing Tuesday because that's the day when we take a card out of a Stampin' Up catalog and we give it a makeover. But first, I want to talk to you today about spiders because my card features spiders. So, first of all, if you don't love spiders and you don't want to see spiders, then this might not be the video for you. It doesn't have a ton of spiders on it, but I had a customer when I lived in Tennessee, and she really did not like spiders. So I tried not to make cards with spiders on it if I knew she was coming over for a class. But it's funny. I grew up and I was also really scared of spiders. I could not sleep if I knew there was a live spider in my room. It would freak me out. And I grew up in British Columbia, and we lived on the side of a hill in the Okanagan Valley. And we had a lot of insects and spiders and nature that would visit us outside and inside. And and I was really scared of bugs. And so it's kind of funny that I've come to peace with spiders. So what I do now in our household, I don't know how you feel about spiders, but anyway, I wanted to show you what I do. I have this little cup. I got this, my son, when he was little, he had a little insect kit with a little bug vacuum. And this was one of the little things that came with it. And I just kind of kept that, even though we gave away the bug kit eventually. And I have a piece of cardboard and I label it bug cardboard, do not throw out. So I keep these two things together and I keep it near the kitchen. And whenever we have a spider or a bug, I just capture it in the cup, slide the cardboard underneath, and then we escort the little critter bug outside. If you're going to do this, I recommend a plastic cup because if you ever get a fright, when you're doing this spider thing and it jumps or something like that, you don't want to be throwing glass around. So a nice little plastic cup, and it's got some little holes in it. So that's what I use to capture bugs and take them outside. And a lot of bugs are beneficial, especially spiders, because they eat things like mosquitoes and I've read today cockroaches and other things, and ants, that we might not want even more than the spider. So they are very beneficial. They provide balance to the environment. So I try not to squish them. I just bring them outside. But anyway, so as I was creating today's card, I thought a lot about spiders because there are three spiderish elements on here. I have a stamped spider, I have a spider web background, and the paper that I'm using also has spiders on it. So after I finished the card, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a spider themed card. So some of you may not like that. So maybe watch another video of mine if you don't like that. Good morning, everyone. I see that Karen and Bev and Janine are here. I can't see everyone from here. I can only see the people that comment. So if you want to interact with me, make sure you comment. But I'm glad you're here, even if you're not commenting. Just thank you so much. It makes doing this video so much more fun when I know that there's someone watching live. And if you're watching my replay later on, I'm very happy that you're doing that too. Leave me a comment. I always repost this video over on YouTube as well, so there's more than one place to catch my replay. Good morning, Dee. All right, so let's talk about the card that we're copying today. This card is from the holiday catalog. Let me pull it up. And here it is. It's a beautiful Christmas card. And it's so worthy of copying, but you know me, I never copy exactly. Well, most of the time I don't. I like to change things. That's what challenges me. But this card is really copy worthy, and it's, I think, fairly simple. You could leave some things off to make it even more simpler, but I really like the design. It's a very happy looking Christmas card. But if we break it down to kind of its basic elements, this is what we get. We get kind of three layers, like the base layer, a medium layer, and a small layer. It's a very simple layout that I think is really workable. So this is a great one if you're a beginner and you want to jump in and try a card sketch. So let's see what I did with it. You may have already seen my card up on my blog post or when you clicked on this video. But let's pop over to over here. Here's my card. And it looks like a Halloween card, doesn't it? It's kind of got that spooky element to it. There's a little shimmer, a little spider web in the background, but I think it's so much fun. Look, I even have an iridescent pearl on there on the little spider. I'll show you those up close a little later. But that is the card that I'm going to be making. So let's talk about a couple of things that I used. This paper is called Magic in the Night paper. It's really a pretty artistic Halloween paper. I really love it. So these papers, on one side you'll have like bats, and on the other side you have beautiful flowers. So this paper is versatile. If you aren't a big Halloween person, but you need a little Halloween paper, this is the perfect paper for you, because on one side you have something that looks Halloween, like, and the other side you have something that's not Halloween. So it just gives you different different options, like bats on one side and then kind of this really pretty ornamental pattern on the other side. So I like how they do that because Halloween might not be your holiday. I know I have some customers that tell me that they don't do Halloween, and you know, everyone needs to do what makes them happy. If Halloween doesn't make them happy, you know, that's fine. But this paper is versatile because it's got a little bit of both. All right, let me put that aside. Then we've got the Cobwebs embossing folder. I don't know if you can kind of see the pattern back in there. So I'm going to be using that. That's a cool one. If you like Halloween, I think you need to get that one. I'm a big fan of embossing folders because they're not that expensive, and you get that neutral pattern that you need for the back of your cards, and it's nice to have a great selection of patterns to choose from. Okay, and then we're using the Celebration Tidings Bundle, and that consists of the Celebration Tidings stamp set and the Celebration Labels dies. When you buy these two products together, I'm crooked, that's not good, you can save 10%, so that's a nice savings over buying them separately. Don't do what I did. I was like, oh, I don't know if I really need the Celebration Tidings stamp set. And so I bought the label separately. And then afterwards, I'm like, shoot, I really should have gotten the labels because they have some stamps that actually fit along the edge of the labels. And well, anyway, I ended up getting them both and paying full price for both instead of saving the 10%. So don't do that. If you like them both, get them both at the same time and save 10%. All right, I think I've talked about the main products. Let's go ahead and let's first of all stamp the little spider because we need to die cut him. And I'm going to use, the only ink colors I'm using are black and white. So I've got a little piece of Whisper White, and I've got my spider on a block. And I'm just going to ink him up and stamp him. Now I could stamp this little guy right onto my label, but I've actually got him popped up on a little dimensional. So that's why I actually stamped him separately, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so let's grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because we're going to do some die cutting. Everything's crooked this morning. Let me make sure it looks straight on the camera. I know that must be annoying afterwards to look at if it's not straight. It looks straight to me, and then it's just not. I don't know. I think my camera's not straight. It's not. Okay, let me get this. This is straight. And then this is straight. Okay, I think my camera, my tripod wasn't straight, so that was the problem. All right, so I've got my die cut machine, and we're going to cut some labels for the card. So I've got some spider paper, I've got some Whisper White, and I'm going to take the third largest or the middle label from those Celebration Labels dies and just put that on there. I've got my Whisper White. Let's see if we can get the spider on here too. The spider, yeah, here are the dies. There's two little dies that cut the spider, so you can actually stamp two and cut two at the same time. So let's just get that little guy centered on there. And then let me push this way, this down this way. And now I'm gonna run everything through. Uh-oh. Okay. It needed to get over that lump of the, sorry about the popping. It's a really good idea, and let me just tell you why that popped. So these dies have to, when it's running through, it's hitting this straight edge right here. So if you don't want that big popping noise, what you do is you just angle your die slightly so that it's coming at it from not that big straight lump to bump over. So if you angle all your straight edges just a little bit, if you can, if the design allows you to, that will create it a smoother ride through the machine. So instead of having that big lump. So here's my little label. Here's my little spider. And make sure I'm not throwing away the labels and just the remnants of the paper. Have you ever done that? You go and throw something away and you throw away the die instead of the paper. I've done that. All right. Okay, make sure I have my die on there. Okay, and we need to do one more thing. We need to emboss that spidery layer. So I've got a piece of cardstock here that measures 5.5 by 4 1/4, so the full size of the card front. And I'm just gonna grab my embossing folder and just stick this in here. And so for embossing folders, we need to remove plate number 2 and move this back over here. And we need plate number 3. And this is a thin, no, it's a thick embossing folder. Wait, it is a thick embossing folder, I think. Oh, I think it's a 3D. I can't tell right now. I'm having one of those days. I made the card last night. So, okay, if it's a 3D, which I think it is, get rid of plate 3. Put it on your base platform number 1. Grab your number 4 plate. And I'm going to run this through. I think I got it right. Yeah, it feels like I did. I thought it was a skinny embossing folder for a moment, and then when it's, sorry, a thin embossing folder, and when it's a thin embossing folder, then you just use, you don't use plate 4, you use 2 of these number 3 plates and run it through in between there. But last moment I realized it was a 3D embossing folder. So look at, ooh, spidery. Okay, you can't see that very well. So we're gonna help that in a second. I'll help you see the spider webs a little better. Let me get all of this stuff out of the way. All right. Now I think we've done all the embossing that we need. So let's do the stamping. We've got the spider already stamped. And I'm going to take my greeting, Happy Haunting. That's a nice greeting, isn't it? It's, you know, you're gonna haunt someone, but let's be happy about it. Okay, just gonna stamp that on there. This is such a simple card actually. So then this is gonna layer on here. Spider's going to layer here. I'm just building my card so I know that I've got all my layers. And then I've got my cobweb piece. So, do you love your Whisper White craft ink pad? I don't use mine enough, but craft ink is different than our regular ink because it's a pigment ink. It stays on top of the cardstock. In fact, way back in the day, we used to have craft ink in all our ink colors, but typically we use the classic ink a lot more, but for white, we do use the white craft ink. So when you get, if you ever purchase the Whisper White ink pad, it comes, it comes like this. It comes with the ink pad and it comes with a ink refill. This is actually uninked when you get it. So when you get it, you need to ink it. And so yeah, you just go ahead and ink it, and you kind of have to work in the white ink a little bit. Let me just show you. I always like to shake things a little bit. And then, so you can kind of see, hold it up to the camera a bit, you can kind of see the white ink coming out. So you're going to need to ink that whole ink pad. And then every once in a while, you'll probably need to re-ink it. This is great for snowflakes and other things, but today we're going to use it to bring out the webs on this piece, because right now you cannot see a single web probably if you're looking at this on the camera. So I'm going to take a little sponge dauber. I'm going to dip it in my ink pad, and then I'm going to do a little swirly pattern on top of my spider webs. I'm not going to do all of them because I want to show you the card one more time. You can see I did it to this one right here and this one right here, and I left these two blank. They are very subtle, but they're still there. When you see this card in person, you will see some of the webs are highlighted and some are not, and I think that's a really good look. On the camera though, you can barely see it, so it might not be as impressive, but trust me, you might not want to do all of them. So you may not be able to resist though. Once you start doing this, it's kind of fun. So think little swirly, don't press down. You're gonna do light touch. Ooh, and I just got into that re-inked spot. So my ink is really, really white right there. Look at that. That's brighter than the other one I did, but look at how pretty that is. Can you see it coming out? Isn't that cool? It looks really spooky. So much fun. Okay, I'm gonna go back into that really bright white area that I just hit with my re-inker, and I'm just gonna be careful not to press down too hard. And I'm just gonna work the spider. It's like magic, it's coming to light. Ooh, it's so pretty. Look at that. It's hard not to do all of them once you started, right? Just have a look and see if you like the way they look. So spooky. Can you see that? It looks like a spider web. I love it. Love, love, love it. All right, let me put that away before I go wild and do all of them, right? So I'm going to attach this to a card base. It's a basic black card base. So I started off with a half sheet of cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored in half at the 4.25 inch mark. You can also fold at the 4.25 inch mark. I don't do that. I need to score it because I like the really crisp line. So I either use my trimmer or my scoring board to score that middle mark. And then I use a bone folder to help crease that fold. It looks really nice and professional if you do it that way. All right, let's adhere all my little layers together. So this glue is almost at the end, but I was trying to get the last drop out. So let's see if there's any drops left. I'm using my paper clip to clear it out. And let's see. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of life left in this. All right. Wowzers, wowzers. Okay. It's like really decided to come out. Big loopy drops. Oh no. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to clean my work surface afterwards. Butterfingers. It's almost like a spider scared me or something. Okay. All right. Then we're going to take our spider paper layer. Look at the little spiders on there. See, really, it's a spider themed card. I wonder if that was the last drop that came out right at the end. There was a big drop. It came out off camera, and I think that was like the last hurrah of this bottle. Okay. Oh no! Oh, we still got more coming. It's almost at its end. Yeah, you might say, why doesn't she just let it die? Okay, I think I'm gonna have to let it die now. All right, this bottle is done. Moving on to my next bottle. Tombow lasts a good long time, so it is a really fantastic adhesive. It's better if you remember Elmer's glue, it's not like that at all. It's really a good adhesive. It's just use a little bit. It's great for your 3D projects. I use it all the time. Okay, so I'm just going to center this. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll just press that down. Next layer. Happy haunting. I don't do very many Halloween cards. I don't typically send Halloween cards, but you know, this one's a fun one. I really like this one. I need to figure out someone to send this to. And then a couple more things. I want to add this little spider on, and I'm going to use some mini dimensionals, and I also want to add a pearl. So let's do the mini dimensionals first. I was trying to figure out the better order to do it in, but I think we're going to do 2 mini dimensionals side by side. Kind of see how I did that. And remove the backings. I use the little black ones because I don't know. I don't know why I use black, because it's a spider and it's a black card. I could have used white as well. And then I'm just going to add the spider. You could add the spider in a different spot too. I just like to kind of add him close to my greeting. I thought that was the best spot, but you might want to add it elsewhere. These pearls go really nicely with this paper, but they're really pretty. Let me take them out of the package. Actually, these pearls were my host code gift last month. I hope you guys got them. Everyone that placed an order of $75 or more last month got these little guys, and they're just, I can't really get them. My light is really bad this morning. It's kind of overcast. So anyway, they've got that iridescent quality to them. So I'm going to try and find a purpley one. They all have a different kind of hue to them. So you want to look for one that maybe has a little purple to bring out the purple in the paper. They've got more than one color in them though, so all right. Maybe my putty tool. You know, I used to pick things up with my paper piercing tool, so I always want to use this end, but it's really the putty end that I should use. Okay. And I'm going to stick the little pearl right where his head is. So you can barely see it, but you can really see it when you kind of in person, right? All right, and then just one more thing. I wanted to add like a bow, and this is the glittered black organdy. This carried over from last year, and I love this ribbon. It's really pretty. It's not just for Halloween, but it's a really different sort of ribbon, and it just adds a little sparkle to everything. So I love it. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of Terran tape, and I'm just gonna put a little strip of maybe about 1/2 inch right there. Because this is organdy, it's a little stiff. I want to use more than just a glue dot. I want to catch some of the loops of the bow. So I just put a little strip instead of just using one mini glue dot. So it has a little bit more to hang on to. Oh, my little thing turned the wrong way. Let me see if I can snip that the right direction. It was the correct direction, and then I went to the wrong side. All right, sometimes that happens. Okay, and so there is the card. Isn't it cute? I love that we have a little bit of the glitter in the ribbon, and we've got a little bit of shimmer from the spider, and then we've got the little webs on the outside. It's kind of cool. Anyway, there are the two cards. And you can see even in the paper has got a little variation in it, right? So it's got light and dark spots, so no two cards will be exactly alike. All right, what do you think of that? So before I go, I just wanted to mention, maybe you don't like Halloween, but you could do the same card also as a Christmas card. Use the Merry Christmas. You could use this sprig right here instead of the spider, and just use like maybe a Christmassy embossing folder in the background, a Christmas paper, and some red ribbon or any sort of Christmas ribbon. And you could turn this Halloween card also into a Christmas card, or you could do like Always Grateful could be like a thank you card, or a Thanksgiving card, or with the heart designs, you could turn it also into a Valentine's card. So this layout is great because you could change it up using the Celebration Tidings Bundle. So it doesn't just have to be a Halloween card, but I'm kind of happy I did a Halloween card. It makes me kind of happy. All right, coming back to you guys. What do you think? Do you make Halloween cards? Like I said, I don't make a lot of Halloween cards, but I think it's fun every once in a while to, Halloween is kind of like a magical, mystical holiday where you can use your creativity. So even if you don't really celebrate or decorate or whatever, it's fun to have, this stamp set and is not overtly Halloween. It's not a Halloween set. It is a multiple holiday set. So you're getting multiple holidays in there. So if you have a set like that, you might not need to buy a Halloween set to, enjoy, to make a card with it. You just need a versatile set like this one, right? Okay, I'm going to read some comments. I'm going to go back to the beginning. And thank you so much for joining me this morning. Janine says, I'm having a hard time with fruit flies. Oh, yes, they get in. And then we had some fruit flies right at the end of summer, but they're gone now. I think they stemmed from, I bought some sweet potatoes in a little sack, and one of them was a little rotten. And I didn't realize it for about a day when it came in. And so we had a little fruit fly party. But maybe the spiders that I didn't catch ate some of them. That's a good reason to have a little house spider. They do eat your insects before you catch them, right? Before you notice they're there underneath their little spider web, and in their web you see all sorts of little things. And I'm like, should I keep the spider and let him, eat the little bugs that I don't want, right? Maybe you need a house spider, Janine. Dee says the red polka dots, so of the original card, right here, the red polka dots are very Minnie Mouse looking and adorable. Yeah, they do have a Disney-esque feel to them, don't they? Oh, Brenda says she just got the stamp set yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. I've done a few things with this bundle, so you might want to also check out my blog. I really like this bundle. I love the labels, so that's kind of fun. You'll have to check out my little lip balm holder that I did last week. Okay. Hello to everyone who's joined me. And thank you for sharing my video, Alice. And hello, Marie. And Marie says she loves craft ink. I don't use it enough, but I do too. And I think, the craft ink like on here with the spider webs, it's kind of fun. It's really, really fun. If you're making cards with the kids, I'm sure they would love to do that for you. Thank you so much for sharing my video. Um, Dee says, I love your perfectionism with clipping the bow ends to be the correct direction. Yeah, if I catch it, I will do that. So I did clip them before the I started today, but you know, sometimes it's like twisted, so it twisted the wrong way. You know, I admire people that are not perfectionists because it's hard sometimes to be this way. Maybe I heard somewhere that it's not as hard for the perfectionists, but it's harder for the people that live with them if they're not perfectionists themselves. And I thought, yeah, that's probably true. And I'm not perfectionist about everything. Like right now, well, maybe I am, but right now I notice like my hair is a little like wonky, and so I want to fix it, but like, oh well, I you have to sometimes choose not to like drive yourself too crazy, right? um Bev says she loves the inking on the embossing. Yeah, that was fun. Karen says she's not a big Halloween fan, but I'll make one or two. Yeah, and it's nice to get a set that already has some Halloween in it, so you don't have to necessarily buy a Halloween set, right? Janine says, I do make Halloween cards. Oh, a Halloween card maker. That's awesome. I send them along with candy, even better, to my adult kids. Makes them laugh at their old mom. Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah, I should send cards to my dear son. They just take such a long, long time. I have to be so organized. Maybe if I sent him a card now, it's kind of sad because like across border, he's in Canada, we're here. If I sent a card, it will take maybe 2 weeks, maybe three. Who knows? I think my mother-in-law's birthday card took 2 weeks, so that was pretty good. If I send something out to British Columbia, where my family is, probably 3 weeks. And that's just a card, right? And so I like right now I'm not sending care packages to my poor son. If he were in the US, it would be so easy. I would probably annoy him with my care packages. He'd probably be like, oh, please stop. I don't even have time to open these. So, but anyway, we talk to him every week on FaceTime, and so he knows he's loved. He has to know that he's loved because I lent him my car to get up to Canada. That's how much I love him. I wanted him to be able to be back with his friends and study in a good environment for him. So my husband and I are sharing our car. Well, we're not going anywhere. We're both working from home, but we're sharing his car. And my son took my car up to Canada so that he could get there safely across the border. He didn't have to fly, and he was able to quarantine. And now he's able to be a little safer because he doesn't have to take public transit. I never ever would have done that for him because it's better for kids sometimes to like not have everything perfect when they're going through school. Like they need that little struggle. Like I didn't have a car, so that's a good thing. But at the same time, this is a different environment. This is a pandemic, so I wanted him to be able to have the safety. So yeah, we kind of did give him a tool to make him safer, but I'm totally fine with that. Anyway, that was I really digressed there. Okay, let me get back to card making, and but that's all about mailing cards right across the border, and but that's cool that you do candy in your cards, Janine. That's awesome. Um, Okay. Karen says she's used that set a lot already. It is good. I should have gotten 10% off and bought it as a bundle. That's what I'm just saying. Um, uh, Dee said she really loved the inking on the embossing. I think it's so cool too. Karen says, my husband won't kill spiders. He catches them and brings them outside. That's a really, really good idea. I do that too. I just can't kill them. And it's funny because I grew up, I was so scared of them. I couldn't even sleep. And now there are so many more scary things than spiders in life, right? The pandemic is really, really scary. So there's so many more things to be afraid of than spiders. So I really, later on in life as an adult, put things in perspective. What is more scary in life, right? Not a little spider, unless it's something that is venomous and might eat you. No, spiders don't eat you. But there are some spiders we should be aware of. But I hardly hear of anyone dying of spider bites. So, okay. All right. Dee said she did the same thing and purchased the die cuts first. Then we thought about it, got the stamps. Oh, you did the same thing as me. So if you don't have this die and stamp set, please just really think about it before you just buy the dies, because the stamp set's really nice too. Um, all right, guys. Well, okay, a couple of things going on that I need to talk about. Tomorrow, we are having a stamp set sale. That is September 23rd, 2020. There is a stamp set sale going on. The easiest way to see what's on sale tomorrow will be to go to the Stampin' Up store and then click on, there's supposed to be a link, said stamp sale. There should be a banner up at the top, and click on that and you will be able to see which stamp sets are on sale. They will be 15% off, and it's a 1 day only sale, 24 hours to get in on the sale. So that is tomorrow, so don't forget about that. We only have about 10 days left. No, probably about 8 days now of the starter kit special. So if you are new to Stampin' Up, if you didn't get the starter kit yet, the starter kit's an awesome deal, and there's some add-ons right now. And if you want to learn more about that, you can click down below on my little starter kit link, and that will take you to some more information. And please feel free to email me about that. I've talked about it a lot, but it's just nice to get a little extra in your starter kit this month. Starter kit's always a great deal because it includes Stampin' Up products. So let's say you had a wish list of at least $100. If you have a wish list of at least $100, then you might want to get a discount on that. So for that $100, so our starter kit is $99, but it includes $125 worth of product. So not only are you getting your $100 wish list, you're getting $25 extra in product. That all goes into your starter kit. And then we have the extras. We have Stampin' Up is including 2 stamp sets, a package of rhinestone jewels, and a 16-piece card class in the starter kit as well that comes with it automatically. So $99 for all of that, plus free shipping, plus you're going to get a free paper pumpkin kit. They're going to include a coupon in there for a free paper pumpkin kit. Actually, they won't include it in the kit. They're going to email that to you. But so you're getting a lot of stuff for $99. So it is an awesome deal. And then after that, you get 20% off your Stampin' Up purchases when you purchase through yourself. So it's a very good deal all the time. Let me see. Is there anything else going on that I need to talk about? I think that's it. I just encourage you to check out the stamp sale tomorrow if you have anything that you've had your eye on. These are stamp sets from the annual catalog. Okay, thank you so much for joining me this morning. If you want to learn more about our Casing Tuesday Facebook group, click down below. There is a link that will take you to that group and you can join. We share our cards on there. So it's not just me sharing, it's anyone who wants to can share their card based on the card that we are copying that week. There's a thread for it, and then you can post your card under there. It's a group. We share our cards there. I love it. If you want to know more about the products I used today, check down below. Click on over to my blog, and there is a clickable supply list at the bottom of my blog post, and it will take you to all the products I used today. And I thank you so much if you purchase from me. I send people that purchase from me, they get to choose one of my tutorials for free. And these are I create a lot of tutorials. I create a lot of free tutorials for everyone, but I also have special paid tutorials that I give to my team members, some of which are on here today, and also if you order from me. So I always thank people that order from me. I really, really appreciate your order. Appreciate your order. It allows me to continue what I do. This is my job. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I work from home, and I really appreciate that, and I thank you for supporting me. Okay, I will have a 3D project on my, I'll be doing a live on YouTube on Friday at 10 a.m. So if you are watching this on YouTube or if you're watching this on Facebook, you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and click on the bell so you can be notified when I go live. This will also appear in my blog posts. So if you're subscribed to my blog posts, you will already see the little video when your email arrives, and you can click on that even if I'm not live. Okay, I think I've done enough talking, right? So you guys have a great week, and I will see you on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.